right. All right, so we just watched Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Save Christmas. Is that right?
Nope.
Okay, is it Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Go to Camp? No, not that either. Okay, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. Gotcha. Okay, so...
I've had it since you didn't like it.
No, I actually liked it a lot, actually. So we just watched this movie, and it's for those of you who haven't seen it, it's actually really good. It's with Tim Roth and Gary Oldman. Richard Dreyfuss is in it as well. A couple of other, solid actors. So it's based slightly on Shakespearean drama and kind of offshoot of Hamlet. Yes.
Correct.
Why was this movie important to you?
Because it's based on a play by Tom Stoppard, who directed it.
The movie,
yeah. So he wrote the play, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Ernest Guildenstern and Rosencrantz Are Dead.
Save Christmas, yeah, right. But he also directed the film.
Gotcha.
So he had more freedom and liberty, I think, in the film. But I was in the play.
Oh, you were in the play?
I was in the play. And I got to play Hamlet in the play, which is funny. And it came out literally, we decided to do it, and then Pirates of the Caribbean, this is a funny story, came out literally days after we were in production. Mm-hmm. And so the director...
The first one?
Yes.
Okay.
The best one. So the director, how he wanted to play the character, which was kind of rude, but I understood what he said. He goes, I want Hamlet to be this drunk, fat Hamlet. And I'm like, wow, you're a dick, whatever.
Right.
And so when that movie came out, I instantly was like, this character's great, Jack Sparrow. And then I went, wait a minute, drunk, fat Hamlet, Jack Sparrow's drunk pirate. The marriage was perfect. So I was all dressed up in epic outfit that my friend kind of loaned to us because I was just all about this show. And then my sister told me about the movie a little afterwards. So the buddies that I got involved in the play, we watched the movie and we're like, this is just so good. Brilliant. And I would say that just is the memory that I really love of being a part of it and then getting to watch it and just kind of relive the stage play
Absolutely.
through the movie.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you said the play is nowhere near as satirical and as
Oh, no,
funny.
It is.
Oh, really? It is?
Oh, yeah. Like the heads, the beginning of the movie.
That's
heads,
the same
heads,
thing? Oh, you're
all
kidding.
The same. Oh, no. It's all the same. So that's why it's like,
that's cool.
Interweaving with Hamlet, how it's just like, is that Hamlet or is this one? Or is this or is it this one?
Sure.
But knowing kind of both, you can know when it stops or when it cuts off. It is a funny show, but it still has that kind of...
Sure. That's cool that you got to be a part of that. I have a similar respect for certain films, having had a film inspire you a certain way, or a story.
Yeah.
A play inspire you in a certain way. A song inspire
Absolutely.
you in a certain way, whatever it may be. But especially for that to come full circle for you to be in the play, love the story, then see a movie that, is excellent. Actually, it was excellently executed, written, shot. When was this made, by the way? 91? It was made in 91.
It was 91?
No, it was 91.
Oh, okay.
So it actually looks like it would have been a little
older.
Older than that, right?
But then
I think
again,
that's what they were playing,
yeah.
right? So yeah, that was excellent, man. Okay, so this was you were in the play, and this was a play. This was written as a play.
Yes.
Why does this work as a movie? I've never seen the play, by the way. So you're really answering this question for me. I don't have as much of an input as far as that goes. Although I will say that with the cinematography, they were able to play transitions so well.
Yeah, and the set locations
that's
they got,
what was one of my biggest things.
Good.
But anyway, why does this work as a movie?
I think that's part of it. Is it's Shakespeare, so it's kind of timeless.
Sure.
Or it's a representative of Shakespeare.
Right.
So any kind of period piece, I think, is epic if done right.
If done right.
The story is just holds
and you do
on
have
its own.
Tim Roth and
you have a great cast.
Gary Oldman and Jim Varney. I'm just kidding.
He actually would have done it. Side note, he played Hamlet.
He's
kidding really good. No shit. Like there's
Jim Varney played Hamlet?
Jim Varney is excellent Shakespearean actor. So
wow. I'm gonna have to go check that out. Everybody check out Jim Varney as Hamlet.
Yeah, so if anybody old like us, Ernest plays Hamlet. It was the movie that never aired.
Ernest plays Hamlet.
But
sorry.
It's just the story is so engaging. It asks some fundamental questions that people have, not only to these characters. The play is just as good, And I think the director, and the writer of the play is like, screw it, I'm gonna make a movie. So let's make a movie.
I love it, dude. And like, going back to what you just said, anyone with a brain who is watching this movie has had some of these internal battles happening within them before. Anyone with a heart has had to deal with emotional struggles, just like these gentlemen are going through, and throughout the story as well.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not talking about just like, your average situation and what they come upon. I'm talking about the existential and philosophical debates that they have throughout this movie. You've had these pulls on your heartstrings.
Well, like
You've
the
had
one
these
scene,
pulls,
Rosencrantz is sitting there, Gary Oldman's character, should I say. He's lying on a coffin, one of those classic ones that are all ornate and designed. And he's like, have you ever thought of yourself just being dead? I haven't,
Yeah.
But
and then he asked him, would you rather be alive or dead
in a box?
In a box?
Because at least you're not dead.
Right. And all like very, very simple, but obviously, like I said, like existential questions that really like beg the question of you to answer.
Absolutely.
Inside yourself. So this movie is full of those.
Totally.
Throughout this entire movie, it just constantly got those in it. From the jump, from the heads and tails scene,
Because I love that one too. I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's just so much.
It's full of them.
So rich.
It's full of it. It did work as a film for me, and I'd never seen the play. I'd never seen Hamlet, but to me, it worked as a film in a big way. I really liked. Here's why. For me, I feel like one of the things that you have way more control over when you're making a movie is pacing.
Yes.
Comedic pacing.
Yes,
For instance, take the very first scene when they met with the travelers.
Yeah.
That conversation between them and Richard Dreyfuss was
almost like Abbott and Costello.
Oh, it was
classic.
amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Absolutely.
And when he was saying, we can give you this, we can give you this, we can give you this, and then it cuts to each thing on the scene.
Rapiers, yeah.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. It was just... And on stage, that speed, it really can't be achieved.
However, it can, yet again, if you have the right actors. And not to toot our own horns, but...
And I'm not saying about the acting so much as like the set dressing and changes as you're seeing on cinema.
But that's the cool thing, though. Like, I would love... We had because of budget, we had a minimalist set. But because the acting and costumes were on point... People loved it.
Okay.
People loved it. And we had like the comedy timing. Like my little buddy Kevin, he's like 4'0", super skinny in a dress and a wig. And so when we did that scene, when my friend's like, we can give you rapiers, rapeable.
Kevin, if you're watching, he loves you, bro.
Yeah,
it's all
he's got
good.
a kid, he's good, he's got a beard.
He's a man.
He's a man now.
Kevin's a man, and he's not 4 foot tall anymore.
Yeah. But he did the whole thing where he jumped on one of the other players, and he was like, oh, whatever.
Right.
I mean, and you're on stage or off stage, you're like trying not to just freaking bust it and laugh. Like, we got a lot of laughs on that. So
I'm sure.
I get what you're saying, though. With film and pacing,
it's just so
you can get the nuance, you can get the details, the close-ups, the emotions.
When they did one of my favorite parts is when they did question tennis,
yes,
or question badminton or whatever it was. That was brilliant. That was so well written, and extremely well executed. And tell me,
it's actually longer in the play.
You're kidding me?
No,
you're kidding me.
They cut a lot.
That's got to be difficult to do live.
Oh my god. But
I mean,
the two we got were they were dating too, so they already had chemistry.
It's hard to follow,
man. Yes,
it's hard to follow. That I will say, let alone perform.
Yes,
properly. I would assume,
Definitely.
And making the movie again. Why it works as a movie, it would probably be a lot easier for the actor to be able to. Do it in chunks or something, whatever. You know what I mean? But good actors probably don't need that. Great actors don't need that kind of thing.
It's true.
Great actors who obsessively prepare like that, saying something like that to them would probably be insulting. Sure. To be honest with you, it might literally be like, dude, like this is what I do. This is my craft.
Yeah.
I put my heart, soul, and energy into this. Like,
definitely,
I got this.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And you can actually tell. You really can. When you see these people who are just incredible actors who just give these performances. They're just like, wow. Like that reminds, when you see an acting performance, that reminds you of why you wanted to act. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and yet again, why we love this, or I love this film. And
100%. This movie definitely worked as a film. Mm-hmm. I liked a lot of different aspects about it. I will say this. I probably will go back and watch it a few more times.
Definitely.
Really kind of understand a little bit about what's going on with the characters, because it's worthy of that. Okay. So, the character relatability in this, the character development, the two characters that we watched throughout this movie, you don't see a lot of progression or arc from Gary Oldman's character, I feel like we get a straight through, lighthearted, almost childlike demeanor.
Yeah.
Who's finding the silver lining in every cloud, and nothing ever really gets to him.
Sure.
As bad as things get.
Definitely.
And because of that, it almost progressively makes Tim Roth's character more and more frustrated throughout the film.
Yeah, or at least revealed the frustration.
Right.
Sure.
Absolutely. You can see it in his eyes from the very first, before he even pulls his mask down.
I was going to say,
he's doing the heads.
The directing is...
Yes, exactly. You can see it in his eyes, but throughout the movie, he increasingly gets more in tune with what's actually happening. He's really the one who, throughout the film, is questioning what the hell is happening to them. When was the last memory they had? Where did they come from? You know what I mean? Like, he's the one, and Gary Oldman's character is like, it's too long ago. I don't remember that.
So I would pose this to you, and whether or not the director had this in mind at all, I would say I don't even necessarily think he got any character arc either. I think they were both on their same trajectories in their arcs, and both of them together represent the whole. They represent almost the viewer, the us. Do you see what I'm saying? Because both of them answer back, question back and forth brilliantly, and they're both not stupid. But
not by any means. In fact, when they get into these philosophical conversations, they both are extremely with it. It's not like Gary Oldman's character, as childish and lighthearted as he can be, is unintelligent. He's not a Lenny. Right. He's not a Lenny character by any means. You know what I mean? He's right there.
And so the idea is they're two separate. What, like Richard Dreyfuss says, he goes, two sides of the same coin. He's kind of almost representing that you guys.
I see.
So when you flip heads...
what's funny is that coin at the beginning could almost be symbolic and representative of them as a whole, too.
Right.
The two heads together, equal one.
And that's why it's such an interesting idea.
Almost the yin and the yang.
And that's why
very, very interesting that you bring that up. I didn't really think about that.
Because then the juxtaposition of Hamlet, they're two useless... Oh, we're friends of Hamlet. And he goes, yeah. Why are you here? You're sent by the king. In other words, I don't trust you because I don't trust him. Right. So that's Hamlet. So in Hamlet, we can say they're bad guys. That's all you need to know. But in ROSENCRANTZ GUILDENSTURN, they're misguided. Just like the audience watching this or watching Hamlet. Like, what is this really about? Is it this? Is it that? Is it the other? So I don't necessarily know if the director had that in his forethought, but I wouldn't doubt he had some sort of idea.
I love it.
And then you got the player, which represents Tom Stoppard, represents Hamlet, and it represents Shakespeare. He knows everything.
Interesting.
He puts on the play.
Yeah.
Through the movie and through the play.
Really cool, actually. The ending of that was really cool. Yeah, that was awesome.
He puts on the whole show in a dumb show or a small show, they call it. So it's like his character is the embodiment of everything. That's why his first line...
Yeah, he's controlling so much more than just the play.
That's why he goes, you caught us at the very point of decadence. We almost grew rusty and forgot everything we knew. They're never going to forget because they're riding through at the end. The other guys are going to come, find the coin, and they're going to meet up, go their separate ways, and do it again. Right. That's like us picking that book up again and reading it.
I love it. That was awesome, dude. I really actually did enjoy that. And I recommend to anyone out there who's watching to go ahead and watch ROSENCRANTZ and Guildenstern, Save Christmas.
Guildenstern are dead.
Save Christmas, go to camp, and are dead.
Are dead.
Jim Varney. Jim Varney.
Our next episode is going to
Tim Roth in order of appearance.
Playing him.
All right. Let's. I'll see you on the next one. All right, my man. Take care. How it going, buddy?